Welcome back to Hit the X Reloads with Dean. We are now on Reloading Series Class 2, New Brass Prep. This is a continuation of Class 1, and we are going to go over finding your rifle lands. We will need this for proper bullet seating. I hope you have all downloaded the file Fired and New 6mm Brass from the downloads link in the video description below. Please do this if you plan on following along and learning. Thanks for joining me, and let's get started. Okay, here we are in the Reloading Series, New Brass, Class 2. This one is just going to be about finding your lands because this video takes a long time. I have a crude drawing here, right here. This is your barrel, okay? This is your bore. These are the lands, very exaggerated, just so you can tell. This dashed in area is your chamber, and that's your case and your bullet inside the chamber. What we want to find is where this bullet, the ogive, touches the lands. That's what we want to know, the measurement we want to know. Now, I used to use Eric Cortina's jam method, but I no longer use that because I don't want to know where my bullet is jamming in the lands. I just want to know where it's touching the lands. Okay, that's all that matters to me. And once you get that measurement, that's all you need to know for the rest of the life of your barrel. You don't have to go chasing the lands and this and that. You just adjust your seating depth if it starts going out of accuracy. I will have a video later on down the road to explain that. What we're using to do this test is this Sinclair seating depth gauge that works really well. It's a little finicky because everything is small, the knobs are small, but we'll figure that out. Now that we know that, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a fired brass case, okay? And then you're going to need a bullet. Okay, the same bullets that we're going to be using throughout this course. The first thing we want to do is get a measurement of that bullet's overall length. So we want to make sure that we're zeroed out. And what I have here now is 1.2490. So we want to write that down. Over here, our bullet overall length, 1.2490. Okay, so we have that. Now that we know our bullet overall length, we're going to start using the gauge now. So I'm going to take my Delron guide, all right, and I'm going to put this in where the bolt goes and turn it down so it can't go any farther. Then we're going to take our bullet. Actually, I'm going to take this back out. My mistake, if I remember right. It's easier to do this with this out. We're going to put our bullet in there, in the chamber, and we're going to push it up into the chamber, just so it's in there. Then we're going to take our guide with this flat end, and we're going to put one of these rings on there with the big part facing forward, okay? The big part facing that way. We're going to take this, we're going to put it in our guide, and we're going to slowly, slowly, with no force at all, push that bullet in all the way. Okay, now it's touching the lands. So you want to come over here with your thumb, your finger on the back here to keep pressure on it, and your thumb to keep pressure on this, and you're going to tighten this screw down. Okay, then pull it out and make sure it is tight. Now we have to get that bullet out of there. Now, I'm not a proponent of shoving anything down the muzzle end because I don't want to screw up the crown on the barrel. So what I do is I just take my gun out of this fantastic Howard's Total Vise setup, and I'm just going to take it and smack it till the bullet comes out. All right, now we're done with that part. Now we're going to take our fired case and put that in the chamber. Put your Delron guide back in with this rounded part facing forward, same way as before. And we're going to take this rod, and now we're going to put the other guide on it with the big part facing inwards. Okay, just opposite of the other one that we just used. We're going to take our rod and push it in slowly. Okay. Now it's touching the back of the case. So what we want to do the same thing, put our finger on the end there and hold up against this to make sure it's tight against that Delron guide, and we're going to tighten it down. Now pull it out. Make sure that one's tight also. So now we have this, and we're going to measure on this now. We're going to take our set of calipers, make sure they're zeroed out, and we're going to take a measurement on the outside of these two big rings. Wiggle it around a little, make sure you get it right. We've got 10950. Let me do that again to make sure. 1.0950. We need to write this down. So back to our board. Our gauge reading is 1.0950. Now we're going to add these two together. And I will get out my calculator. We've got 1.2490 plus 1.0950. And that equals 2.344. So now we've got 2.344. Okay, we are not done yet, because what that gives us is our bullet overall length. That's not the measurement we want. So what you need to do is you need to seat a bullet at 2.344 overall length. Okay? crude drawing, but bullet overall length, this distance. You need to seat your bullet at that, 2.334. Go slowly until you get it. And then, once you have that, you're going to take a reading with your bullet comparator. Okay, of course this is Short Action Customs. These snap in and out, which you can change sizes just like that. So obviously, zero it. We're zeroed. We're going to take our bullet. Now this one is not the same one I'm using. I'm just showing how you do it. If you have your bullet here that is 2.344 overall length, you take a comparator reading and that there, 1.7205 is your lands. Now this is not exactly what you're going to come up with because this is just a dummy bullet I have. So once you get that and get this reading, that is your distance to the lands. So there's where you want to start when you're doing your seating and just move back from there through the testing till you find the right seating depth. Now take this bullet and mark it as a dummy bullet and keep it somewhere. Keep it somewhere so it's not where it's not going to get jarred around and bashed in and everything like that. So that there, my friends, is how you would find your distance to the lands. And if you found this interesting, please leave me a like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit all notifications so you are notified when I release something new. Thank you very much. Goodbye.